Hello, plant friends. Hope you guys are doing well, enjoying life out there, enjoying and spending time with your loved ones. In this episode, we are going to talk about watering. Well, I'm not going to talk about watering by myself because it's a really sensitive topic. Joining me is Jax. Jax is a local plant seller and collector in Tucson, Arizona. For those of you guys who know Arizona, who have been to Arizona, it's a super dry, hot place. It's essentially a desert, okay? But she's keeping her plants alive. She's keeping her plants well, and she's selling plants out of her home. Let's talk to her about her watering tips. Let's just get to it. So let's say like this Thai is in a ceramic pot right now, right? So do you water differently depending on the pot at all?
Not really.
Okay.
You mean like how often I water?
Yeah.
I probably only water these big ones like every 3 weeks. I'm gonna guess.
That's a good one. That's a good, I would say that's what my estimate would be for those.
I have a moisture meter that I try to check the bigger ones with. I just check them to see how it's, but with the chunkier soil, it's hard to tell how wet it is. But I kind of just, I know my plants too. Like I said earlier, like all about knowing your plants, because they're yours and they're specific to you and your environment, and like you just need to learn what they need and what they don't need. So I usually check. This one's in kind of like an older soil that I used to use, so it's not as chunky.
Yeah. I think when I look at the plants that I used to that I potted a long time ago, they've always had
all the soils at the top, the perlites at the
there's
bottom.
always like way more soil than I'm comfortable with now, but they've either adapted or not. I like I like the moss poles.
These things, I love these things.
Yeah.
And they stack. So these are the ones that like they come apart, you know?
Oh yeah, nice.
And then you can stick them together.
Right.
So I have like a couple of ones in there that are probably ready for a third one.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's a 10-inch pot?
It's a 12.
12, okay.
And then this is like a 10.
And yeah, I would say in these ceramic pots, watering them about probably in the soil mix about once every 3 weeks.
It'll start to get warmer here, and it'll get a lot of heat from the window, and I'll probably have to water a little bit more often, like every 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, but that probably won't happen until it's like 100 out consistently.
Yeah, I find that moisture meters just don't work well.
Not with chunky soil. If you're using like something that's going to be not chunky, which probably you shouldn't be, it doesn't work as well. But I use it for like my bigger pots because it's the only way I can get down there and see kind of what the water's like at the bottom. Do you do the finger in the soil? Okay, you don't do that. No.
Yeah, I don't think that is very effective.
I don't think it does anything. Right. What, do you have like a moisture sensing finger? I mean, unless it's like really wet, like there's no way you're going to be able to tell. Right.
I also think that when you're having like such a big pot, like 2 inches or a finger down,
but you'll read, I'll read like advice on these on the internet where it's like, just water it when the top 2 inches is dry. And I'm like, no.
I don't think,
wait until it's like half dry. Like don't.
I think by the time, if you're watering by the time like the top 2 inches of soil is dry, if that's what you're doing, that means that probably by the bottom is constantly wet.
Constantly wet, and then they have wet feet, and then that's how you get root rot.
Right,
that's like the easiest way to kill your plant.
I don't use a moisture meter. I did buy one at one point.
Right.
And I think that I think if your moisture meter is working well, that means that your soil is not chunky enough.
Right.
Oh, I like this one. This one seems like you used a lot more.
That was a lot of bark.
Yeah, a lot more bark and a lot less of the pumice.
My little thumbs.
Yeah, and really, this is kind of what I also tell people is that like you use what you have.
Right.
As long as basically the density or the chunkiness is appropriate for drainage for your particular plant, the ingredients don't particularly matter too much. Hope you guys are enjoying the content so far, guys. If you guys like what you're seeing, if you're getting some benefit and utility, please like the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment below, click the thumbs up or something. And also definitely follow Jax on Instagram. She is PAX_plants on Instagram. That's where she reaches out and, sells her plants. So definitely support her. And okay, how often are you watering?
Just when I water, just depends on the plant.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
you know, some plants it's like every 3 days, and some plants it's every 3 weeks. So it's
Okay.
just kind of all over the place.
Your regimen is way.
Yeah, I'm very strict about the way that I water. I have that Planta app.
Okay.
So I have all my plants in there, and it like tells me when to water them, and it's cool. Like I really dig
Oh.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very like.
What is it?
It's called Planta.
Planta.
Yeah.
Planta.
Yes.
It's an app.
Love it.
Okay.
Recommend highly, but it only is for iPhone. So if you do not have an iPhone,
All right.
you cannot use it, and I'm sorry, but
Planta for iPhones.
love it. You can put your plants in. You put pictures, which is also really cool.
We're not
'cause you see
sponsored by
growth.
that at
Not
all.
sponsored.
I don't even know anything about it.
I'm just
but
obsessed. I think it's so great, and I think everyone
will-
should use it.
I'll put it in the description, I suppose. Okay, Planta.
So it tells me when to water, and then I kind of just, you know, I check the soil. I should preface by saying I check the soil.
Okay.
I make sure that it needs to be watered. I don't just
Oh.
like trust this random.
Right. I am
Yeah.
so cautious about watering
Yes.
advice. I'm even like cautious about water, you know, like okay, so when you're getting watering advice, I always tell people that like the closer their collection is to yours, and the closer their environment is to
Yeah.
yours, and also the closer their setup is to yours.
Well, that's the main thing, right? Is like you don't even know. Like if you're gonna take your plant home and put it in your bathroom, it's gonna need a different water than mine that's in my kitchen.
Yeah.
With no humidity. Like it just there's so many factors that go into that. So like watering advice is very obscure.
It's very hard, and that's kind of why I normally don't give watering advice.
Right. Well, also just learn your plants. Like if you're gonna have them, treat them like the living things that they are, and learn what they want and what they don't want. And some plants want a lot of water. Some plants don't want the water to touch the leaves, so you want to like bottom water. You know, there's so many.
I do not have any of those plants.
What? Okay,
I just don't like anything that has very specific needs.
I like needy plants.
I am more of like I enjoy you, but I don't want you to stress my life kind of guy. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Right. Till next time. Happy planting.